Lunatic Fringe, I come to you today to implore you to understand what I'm about to say about this market, and that it is my belief that we're about to get another mini altcoin season. I don't think that it's going to last very long. I'm not sure it's going to be the explosive one, but I think that this is the one that's going to cause a little bit of a liftoff for Luna Classic and a bunch of other assets related to it. I think Jura is going to take off, Garuda X, everything kind of attached to it in this realm, I think is getting ready for an explosive move. I'm going to show you why on the chart. If you've been following me, you know what I'm about to say, but if you haven't for any reason, then right now is the time to get just a little bit excited about what's going on in cryptocurrency. Now, it might be early. We might also dip a little bit more, but the recovery looks like it's underway. I'm going to show you some charts. I'm going to show you the information. And if you're not bullish by the end of this, something wrong with you, baby, not me. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. All right, so Daily Coin has an article out asking the question, Terra Luna Classic dives 69% in a year. Why do you wait until then to make this? You know what I mean? I see what you did here, dirty boy. Can burns save Luna Classic? And the answer to that is a simple no. Burns don't save Luna Classic. That's silly. You should be better than. However, what it does mean is that the reduction in supply helps to offset the downward pressure of the current environment. It's very, very, very simple here. Currently, the price is 406. If we had half the supply, then the price would be 3012, and the value on your remaining supply, the market cap isn't going to change. The available liquidity isn't going to change. If those coins are removed from circulation, the market cap is just split amongst less product. So if that's the case, then yeah, reducing the supply helps in terms of diluting that market cap over fewer coins. That doesn't help the price go up. That just helps the coins go up in value. Okay, so when he's asking this question, that's the answer to that. However, the fact that we reduce the supply, in the event that we were to have reduced the supply by a substantial amount, would have resulted in more effort, I think, by investors to grab a bag, which would have resulted in a better price action because people would have seen progress. The reason that Terra Luna Classic continues to dump, first of all, you're being shaken out of the altcoin market, no questions asked, okay? Because the people at the top, the institution, the whales, they want you out for the moment so they can buy in a little bit cheaper. And that really applies to every product. They're not specifically targeting you. They're not specifically targeting Lunk. They're just reducing their capital exposure, letting the price come down because you get scared, and then they're buying up towards the bottom, and they're quietly doing that. Sometimes OTC, sometimes they just buy small amounts after small amounts after small amounts, but they're trying to catch that bottom so that when it pumps back up again, they're in profit faster than you and making more money than you. That's really what's happening, no matter how you look at it. So, and the capital allocation, by the way, does become complicated. You know that based on a lot of economic factors. However, Luna Classic would have had a better run of it, I would say, had we reduced the supply in a way that was really, really appreciable. We really haven't done that so far. The daily burns are nice. You burn 100 million per day on average or so, and it would look okay. You burn an average of 400 million per day, and you look way, way, way better. I hope that makes sense. I'm just throwing random numbers at you, but the burns would have made people pay attention because that would have increased. That would motivate. Here's the thing: if burning were a thing, there are enough people who enjoy burning right now for every validator who's not participating in it. If we had burned, or if we were to burn like right now, large amounts of tokens, or give the opportunity, not us burning, but giving the opportunity through a repeg or through some kind of structure, people would start trading in the short term because they're interested in how they can help to reduce the supply and make money off of that opportunity. So you would have a lot of people trying to trade on chain if in fact that's where the UST to LUNC pairing. If that is how the burns were happening in some way, people would be incentivized to do it. Short term. Long term, maybe not. I don't know. But in the short term, they would be incentivized to do it. And if we saw an appreciable level of burn coming because of that, consider it. If we'd seen that, then guess what? People would be incentivized. They would physically see their progress. We've failed them in that regard. And that's where I think we've got to pick up the pace as a community, finding a way to continue burning the supply down to a reasonable supply. Now, and there are going to be people out here that are going to tell you, well, supply doesn't matter. Right, it doesn't matter. But again, it just comes down to where your price point is. Now, if your price point, you don't care, is 301, for example. There's a lot of cryptos out there that are at 301. So when these people make their dumb argument about why does it matter, when they say dumb stuff like that, they're really right in that context. They're not dumb for that reason. They're dumb because they're not understanding the economics of this burn process within this community and how important that is. Also, they're ignoring and dismissing, which to me is kind of disgusting, but they're dismissing all of the people who lost vast amounts of money in this ecosystem when it collapsed. And at some point, don't we owe those people at least an effort at value for their holding? Maybe tiny bit, maybe just help them not be, not lose $1 million and turn it into $5,000. Like maybe we could do better. Maybe. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. See what I'm saying? Anyway, back to the point. I think this guy is, looking around at what's going on and just trying to give you a sense here about the $1 dream. And at this point, it's impossible under the current structure. But long term, maybe. I mean, again, we're going to have to burn a significant amount of supply because it really doesn't come down to the supply. Ultimately, it comes down to the market cap versus the supply. So, if you had 350 million market cap, if we're at 350 million market cap, we had a supply of 350 million, it'd be $1 a coin. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, right? So, could that happen? Could that conceivably happen? I mean, it's a little different if you have like a $10 billion market cap, because then a 10 billion supply would be enough. We'd have to get there first, but you get my point. So the question now is, well, what's about to happen short term instead of long term? That long term $1 thing, we'll leave that as a pie in the sky for now. Let's talk about short term. Still favorable to Bitcoin, which means that altcoins kind of pumping a little bit. You look at it over the 7-day, and you got to be kind of happy because it looks like Luna Classic is at least for an extended period of time kind of outperforming Bitcoin in its recovery. Now, we're going to need a lot more than what it's giving at this point, but it's good to see that it in fact is holding up very well. As far as the meme coins go and the utility coins, we got some value back just a little bit. We're again, this Luna Classic price pumping really, giving a little bit of a recovery bounce, but and not a lot of movement here on the ecosystem here. Juris, Garuda X, those are the two that we want to really see kind of take off. As far as the request for funds on 3.4.0, looks like that's going to pass. Still 3 days left in it, but I haven't seen too much negativity about it. Interstellar, Jesus Lord, Terra Vita. There's only one minor no, and no with vetoes, and only one abstain, and it's a small by comparison. So I think it's going to pass. I think it'll be fine there, and these guys will be compensated for their work, which is good to see. Now let's talk about price action. Remember what we're talking about here. This yellow line is a few months off, and so the question right now is, well, how long did it take to get to the bottom? How long did it take to get to the top? Well, here's the bottom over here. It took 41 bars from here to get to that bottom. Now it took, for the pump, it took 82 bars. So anytime in that range seems to be a good time for a reversal. Now, if you note here that we've been coming down from this, we came down from this, then we got this right here, this massive dump right there, and then we got a spike back up, and now we're coming back down again. Now, the question is this recovery, have we really achieved this? Like with that dump right there, did that come down here far enough? And are we reversing for this capital? Now, what I'm saying with that is that yellow line that we're talking about in this regard, it's this right here. That's the global monetary liquidity index. And what that is the amount of money coming into all market, and that's a lot that's come in. I mean, you look at from the bottom over here to the top over here, and you look at the explosive move that we had right here. Now for Luna Classic, let's talk about what that looked like. That was down here up to here. That was 235%. That spike at least is coming again. You can see the capital inflow, in fact, is bigger on this run. Now, by the way, that doesn't mean that it's all going into Luna Classic. Doesn't mean it's all coming back into this market. But if you look at it from this context, and you can see here, like, that is a good level of capital inflow. So if that guarantees us, or at least reasonably looks like to us, that we can get to, you know, a 2 or 3x right there, then what comes after that? Well, depends on the money flow. Today, we just got really good news in the U.S. Inflation is down 2.8, which is better than and beating expectations. And again, we see it coming down. And by the way, I think a lot of that is gas prices right now. Gas prices have been sticky, but we see oil prices have been pretty favorable. And there's always reasons for these oil companies to try to keep prices high. They're making record profits. They've been making record profits. So at some point, I think we see it come down, and that'll be good. But you know, it's been a sticking point. But when that does come down, that is a big portion. Both that and egg prices, and I just saw eggs for $3 yes, which means that they're coming back down in line with what I think they should be to begin with. They certainly shouldn't have been 99 cents, but $3, that's 3 times as much. But that seems pretty reasonable for a dozen eggs. I mean, you know, to be fair here, you know, I work out a lot. I eat eggs all the time. Eggs are the cheapest and best source of protein for anybody who wants to work out and find the most efficient way to build muscle. A lot of eggs. So the fact that it's down at what I consider to be reasonable at $3, that's a good sign. Now, it's not everywhere, but you know, we're starting to see a recovery from bird flu, whatever. So that, coupled with gas prices, means that maybe this rally is for real. Now, if this rally is for real, then what would it look like if we went from the bottom to the top again from here? Well, that would give us at least 3 zeros, 18. That is a 3x from where we are. That's kind of what's in line. Now, here's the other part. What if we get just a little motivation? If we get a little bit, if we get just a tiny bit motivated, then ultimately we could be looking at a massive move. Let me remove this global flow right here. We could be looking at that massive move that we've all been kind of waiting for, like that quick 10x. You know, you get that quick 10x and it changes things fundamentally. People start to pay attention. They're like, oh my God, Luna Classic is actually breaking out. You know, we get up into this range, and then what happens? Well, then people start to look at those meme coins that I was talking about, and now all of a sudden you've got a big bag of Juris, you got a big bag of Garuda X, you got a big bag of Cat with Hat, you got a big bag of Cookie, you got a big bag of all these different memes and utility coins like LNC for Lunk Zombies. You have all of these different gaming coins and tokens that are out here. So, you know, that'd be a great thing. Now, will it happen? I think so. I don't know, but I do think so. I think that, you know, I think we're at a spot right now where it's just kind of inevitable, and we're just waiting for the moment of, you know, breakout. Okay. Today we're up $20 billion on the day. That's not the breakout that we're looking for. It would be nice to see 200 to 300 billion capital inflow in one day to reassert right now 3 trillion market cap. I do think that 3 trillion market cap is an important point for the market. That 3 trillion was the previous top. So I think going back to that previous top in the market is paramount. Now, that's not the top overall. That's the top of the previous market, which was 3.02 trillion. Getting back into that range, I think, is very important. So it's going to be, let's call it 400 billion. So over the next 2 days, a couple of $200 billion days, that would indicate massive recovery. So, and we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We saw Bitcoin just a few minutes ago spiking up over 84,000, which was a nice little move, but it immediately got USA'd as the USA market is now online and, you know, mess. So this could be the moment that we kind of kick off. Anyway, back to Luna Classic price. That big move is getting ready to happen. So I think there is reason to be excited. This is the 1 hour. So, you know, again, you know, a bounce right here. Sure. I don't know that that's not the end, but, you know, a good bounce from here, a strong bounce up into this range would be a great sign of recovery. USTC, I'm not feeling as favorable as I was the other day about converting over. I think I might miss this because I'm going to be shrewd, and I do not want a DCA at this point. Maybe if I had done it down here at 0.0105, I would feel good about it because then I'd be up 10-15% right now. But I'm just not feeling it unless I get that catastrophic dump, that cleansing fire, if you will. That's what would motivate me. Now, Luna is breaking out up 6% right now from the bottom. Look at this. If you had gotten in here at 15 cents, you'd be at 19 cents right now. And that'd be 20%, an easy 20% to almost 40% gain at this point. So Luna getting a nice little recovery, and I would suspect that that's probably going to bounce up here to the top of that range. How many times have we gone down here? And it just continues and continues and continues. So I would suspect that we're probably going to see a move up here to the top of this range in short order, and I think that is also good for Luna Classic. Luna doing well along with Luna Classic is actually, I think, a good thing overall. I don't think it takes away from us. I think it adds to the market. Also, let's just keep moving on here. So we're up 5% on the day. 5% on USTC. The money flow still low, still needs to be improved, but a little bit better. Now, somebody's asking questions over here. Ceramics got a marathon mindset is crucial in this battlefield. CL8Y clay is designed for the long haul. Exponential gains come to those who endure the volatility, embrace the insurgency, and ride the liquidity wave. Now, what I'd like to see is, can we see some real progress from this token? I don't have the details on it. Again, I'm going to get these guys on the channel to talk about it, but we'll be able to track it. We'll be able to see what it looks. So that is hopefully it's going to end up being good. But 300 million is all we're burning in the last 7 days. You can see those things kind of fallen off, and then of course it's just been kind of low. And by the way, I don't think that's huge. I think I think the market retail has kind of disappeared very quickly. So it's going to take us a moment to recover. And by that I don't mean Luna Classic. I think that the entire market needs a little bit of time to recover. Again, couple $200 billion pump days would be a really good sign that we're getting back into our BS, if you will. Some strong bounces in that direction would give us that feeling and that sense of, well, maybe this time it's real. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. But from me to you, I think that we're going to get a big run very, very soon. I know, look, we've all talked about that. We've all said that because the market always looks like it's ready to go, and then we get the rug pulled out from under us. But I think this time might be different. Again, we looked at global money flow. Global money flow is the real deal in risk-based asset market. Other things have to go right, but when you see money flow coming in to the level that you just saw, it causes significant and violent rally in risk assets. And we are a risk asset, and I think that we're about to explode. Again, we're just waiting for that reversal time. And it won't be on one day. It'll be over a course of days. But, that chart, by the way, it's about 3 months long. So from January, through all of January, through all of February, and through this point into March. So 75 days. So, or 60, 70, about 73 days. So in 73 days, we had up only that hasn't fallen into this market yet. So it's coming. And when it does, it's going to be fantastic. All right. So that's it. That's my time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Get ready, because if you've held this far, then I think you're about to get a bit of reward. Okay. I think that we're about to see some really radical movement in this market, Luna Classic included. And then we'll see where the dust settles after that. But this is not financial advice. I'm always right.